Good afternoon everyone, welcome to the Lillypillystitches studio vlogs. My name's Lisa and I'm coming to you from Brisbane. It's Saturday the 30th of August and it's a beautiful sunny day, a bit like last week. Bit windy today, it was quite cool this morning. Still that like, don't forget it was winter. It's still winter technically, but just a few days time we'll be entering into spring, which will be fantastic. So yeah, so today I have not a lot of knitting for you, but I do have one FO, a minuscule amount of progress on my champagne cardigan, some acquisitions, some shop stuff, and first of all, before I get into the FO and everything, I just want to say an absolute thank you so much for your support on my video last week. I have been recording since 2017 and I probably get about 30 to 50 views per episode, and I had about, you know, it's taken me all that time just recently to get to like 350 subscribers, and I've now jumped up to 570 subscribers. So it seems like a really big milestone to get past that 500 mark. Not that it's something I'm relying on, or, you know, I'm just happy plodding away here doing my videos, but it's so great to have so many new subscribers, so many views on my channel, and also all the likes and comments. It was wonderful. I've really enjoyed all of your comments and I think I've responded to everybody. I apologize if I've missed anyone, but I think I've covered everyone. So a big thank you to you, and if you want to let me know if you're watching, where you're watching from, that would be lovely to see where everyone's from. I know one lady mentioned she was from New Zealand, another one from North Carolina. So yeah, I'd love to see where everyone's watching from. That would be really nice. What else? I'm going to have a gift for that I'll draw a winner for in the next episode, as a thank you gift for reaching over 500 subscribers. And yeah, so stay tuned for that later in the episode. So without further ado, let's get into the knitting. So look at this sheepy bag. If you have a look at Aunty Nat's knits, I think she's been making some on her, if you look at her Instagram, some were custom orders, so I don't know, you might be able to contact her to say, can you have a sheep bag? She's been doing some with pastel green velvet, not velvet, I said velvet last time, it's corduroy, and she also has some in like a waterproof fabric, so that would be cool, and the colors are a little bit more vibrant. So check out Aunty Nat's Knits Instagram page, and she has an Etsy shop under the same name, so if you want to pop over there, but definitely get in touch with her if you're interested in maybe seeing if she'll do a special order for you. So Wayne wound up for me, because he likes doing that. He wound up that skein of Knit or Dye Oz yarn that I bought, the 12 ply in the pink Casitas pink Grevillea colorway, and this is how much I've got left, so not much. And I went and found a hat pattern, and it's the Chunky Chelsea hat by Christina Lundberg, who is also the dyer behind Chelsea Luxe Yarns in New York. So yeah, so I found her hat pattern and I finished the hat. It only took me about 2 days. That's the beauty of having chunky yarn, which I might be buying some more in the future, because that was awesome to have a 2 days on the needles, really easy to knit, and a really fun pattern. So this is a one size only hat, so it's a little bit snug on my head. I do have a lot of hair, and my head's quite decent size, and I've got a ponytail in today, so I don't know how well this will work. I'll see if I can put it on. but you get the idea. I've got photos on my Instagram. But anyway, yeah, so I've got this hat, and it's a really easy pattern. It's just a couple of inches of 1x1 ribbing, and then just straight stockingette until you reach the decreases on a 5.5mm needle. The only variation I did was I just did the ribbing on a 5mm needle just to make sure it holds steady on your head, and then switched up to the 5.5mm circulars, and just did magic loop for the rest of the hat. So that was really easy, and yeah, beautiful yarn. I mean, just look at this knit up. So if you're interested, Helen of Knit or Die Oz, she has a website where you can buy her yarn, and if you're interested in her pottery as well as her yarn and you're in Brisbane, she has a stall down in the Vend at Aunty. So if you want to head there, you can visit her little shop inside Vend and purchase some yarn and get a cute mug while you're at it. So I've already used the mug. I don't have it with me right now because I used it this morning for my coffee, which was really nice. But yeah, really love that. So definitely be buying some more 12 ply from Helen. So this one is going to be going to my cousin's daughter, Saya, and I've got to get that in the post next week. So that'll be for Saya's 13. Yeah, so she will love that, hopefully. And it's super soft, really nice. It's just a shame it's at the end of winter when she's getting it, but anyway, better late than never. So that's that, and I'll pop that back in that bag to protect it. So that's that one. And whips, I've got 2 whips that I've worked on. Now what did I do? Oh, there it is. Wait a second, got books to show as well. Okay, so first I'll show you, you will not probably tell any difference. Sorry if this is wobbling. It's a bit windy today, and I've got you set on a stand, but on our outdoor table. So I worked a little bit on the ribbing at the bottom of my champagne cardigan again, but there's over 300 stitches on the needles. I think it's 303 or something like that. So it takes a while to get across doing 1x1 ribbing. It's very slow going. So I've only managed to do 2 rows this morning, but it's really looking good. I'm really loving that. And yeah, just keep working on it when I can, but yeah, it's I almost need to like do weights to practice with this heavy cardigan. So that's, sadly it doesn't look really any different from last week when I showed you, but I thought I'd share that anyway because I did work on it. I subluxated my shoulder a couple of months ago, and I did something inside my arm, and my joints tend to be, I don't know if I'm hypermobile or not, but my joints tend to be a bit elastic, because I also did the splits downhill, and my leg went up back behind me at an odd angle, and my ankle went in and out of the joint, and I tore the ligament, but I didn't break anything. That's me. That's my life. I'm a klutz. So I'll pop that there. And then during the week I worked on after I finished the hat, I worked on the train, and at lunchtime I worked on my Cozy Memories blanket, and I do have some progress on that, albeit small. So I had just started the green, and I've now finished that. That's the yarn I got from that yarn place a couple of years ago, hand dyed by someone locally, but I don't know who. And then this is possum yarn I got years ago from a trip to New Zealand in this lovely blue. And I've just started in a Movie yarn. sock yarn that I got also at that yarn place a few years ago by a local hand dyer, but I don't know who it was. It was like, didn't say who the dyer was, and that's what it is in the cake. So that's what I'm using at the moment, which is really pretty, which I can show you what it looks like knit up because I've had it on one of the other rows. So yeah, so I'm almost at the end. I'm working on the last square on row 2, and then I'll be on to row 3. So it's actually going, when I first started it, it seemed like, oh, it'll be forever till I get this done. But this is actually going along quite quick because once you get the first row done, where you've got to sort of add stitches on, cast stitches on, which goes a bit tighter, so it's a bit harder to just knit across to get started. Once you get to the second row, you don't have to do that because you're just picking up along 2 sides, which is much easier, and then knitting. Yeah, it's going really quick now, so that's good. Okay, and then what have I got picked out? I don't know, I might start the next one in some yarn that Rebecca gave me, which is this beautiful pink colour. I don't know if this might be from My Creative Garage. Yeah. Right, so that's that one. And full disclosure from last week, so you know I was telling the truth. I did in fact package up my minis and put them in little bags with Christmassy washi tape and numbered them, and I just randomly picked from each one and tried not to look at what I'd picked, and then just felt my way to putting it in a bag so that I really don't know. I didn't want to look at what number bag I was up. I just picked the bags random as well, so it wasn't in line, like in number order. So yeah, so I've just got them in this basket here, and that sits in my yarn cupboard. And I'm actually thinking I might try and buy another few. So I think I've got 12 days plus Christmas Day. So if I can get another few days, it might just sort of mean maybe I skip the first week in December and then start doing my Advent, which would be nice. Or if I can get another 2 lots, then I'd have a full Advent. So we'll watch this space. Okay, right. Now, now we're down to acquisitions. So I made this for Wayne, Bok Bok, meet Bok Bok, the emotional support chicken. And Wayne said definitely Bok Bok needs a girlfriend. So I made this from yarn I purchased from that yarn place. In just a moment, I'll just have to pause. I'm back. What was I going to say? Brain dead. Got no brain today. So what's going on? Let's get all tangled. I went to that yarn place today because I had to go to Baffies Oan Books, which is an independent bookseller at Samford. So you may not be aware of it, but it's out at a garden centre. It's this really cool place. If you're in Brisbane, I definitely recommend going one weekend. And then why not stop at Kenilworth Bakery at Samford Village and get yourself a donut. But if you go to Samford, when you come down the hill to Samford Village, there's a big roundabout. If you go straight, so you're on Samford Road, you come down to Samford Village, and there's a big roundabout. If you go straight through and keep following that road along for a few minutes, you'll see there's a place on the other side of the road that sells, like, because it's in the country, it sells like animal supplies and stuff like that, like food and things for bigger animals. And then on the left there's a little car park, and there's also one, if you follow around the road that goes round the back of the buildings, there's parking up the other end near the yarn shop. But that's a garden centre with a cafe, a gift shop, a bookshop, and a few other little businesses in there, plus that yarn place which sells beautiful yarns. Yeah, it's just a good day out if you're wanting to go, and there's something there for everyone. They sell plants, and yeah, they got a lovely gift shop, and it's a great place if you want to bring your family. They can go and look at the plants or have a coffee while you pop in and get some yarn and books. So I went to the bookshop this morning and got a book, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then I went to that yarn place and I got Peyton's Sierra Chunky 80% acrylic, 20% wool yarn, and that's what I use for Bok Bok. But I got a rainbow, pinky rainbow colorway, seeing as it's a girl chick. Well, even though all chickens are technically girls, in this case Bok Bok's a boy. But this will be for Bok Bok's girlfriend. So my details are on my Ravelry page for what I did for Bok Bok. I used a bit of a smaller needle than recommended, which is a bit hard on your hands, but that's what I did for Bok Bok. But I may use a little bit bigger needle. And sorry, the dog's all stirred up now. Come on, Paris, leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Thank you. There she goes. She's ready to kick off. So yeah, it's really soft yarn and beautiful pastel rainbows. So that's what I got there. And then I needed to get some needles for some 4mm interchangeable needles for my cloud blouse, which I haven't done any work on because the needles are too sharp. And it kept, the dogs, sorry, hopefully it's not too loud. Next door's dogs started barking, now my dogs are going to kick in there. So I got some Knit Pro 4mm interchangeable needles. These are 10 centimeters long and they're wooden, so hopefully they shouldn't dig into my finger and put a hole in it. So yeah, so there's that. And then I got myself, and I also got one to go in the giveaway. So this one will go in the, I'll show you that later in a second. I'll put the giveaway stuff. But I got myself a little sheep sticker for my journal. I'll put that back in there. And then I got this Don't Bug My Yarn bug repellent, and you put it with your yarn, and it says it's got coconut oil, olive oil, tea tree, essential oil, rosemary, lavender, spearmint, lemon, sweet orange, rosemary botanicals, thyme botanicals or something like that, and it's just, you pop it in with your yarn in your shelf. So that, I wish you had smell-o-vision. It smells very lemony, but it's lovely. Don't Bug My Yarn. So I got one of those for me, that one, and then this one will be part of the giveaway. So I might as well tell you what's in the giveaway. Well, I shouldn't have said giveaway, but you know, it's a giveaway. Just don't put it down in the comments or anything. Just if you want to be in the running for my gift, then tell me down below what you would make with the yarn I'm going to show you that I dyed. So this is going to come along for the gift to a lucky winner with Don't Bug My Yarn. Pop that there, pop that in there, and then I will also include a skein of my yarn which I dyed recently. I think this one's called Coral Reef. It's available in my Etsy shop. I have 2 skeins of this, so limited number, but one of these is going to be in the gift, so there'll be one left if you want to buy one. So yeah, so there'll be this yarn. So what would you knit with this yarn? It's 4-ply sock yarn from Nundle Woolen Mill, and I bought it undyed and I dyed it using landscape dyes by Craft Colour. So yeah, it's really lovely yarn to knit with. I've knit a few pairs of socks with it, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what you would do. Let me just take it out of its thing so you can get a better look at the colour. So blues, reds, very pale. So it looks like some of it's got the like the natural colour, and then speckles of blue. So yeah, see what you might knit with that. Twist, 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 and then see if I can pull that through and get it back. Oh, didn't quite go back as well as it did, but yeah, so that'll be coming to the lucky person, and it's open worldwide. I think I can still send to the US if it's just a gift, so that should be fine. And then I'm also going to include a clear yarn holder, portable yarn holder that you can pop on your wrist. So you'll get 2 parts. You'll peel off the clear plastic that's on it, that sort of looks frosty, and then you pop your skein, your cake of yarn on top, and then you pop this here like, sorry, what am I saying? Totally wrong instructions. Just pop this through this, then pop your cake of yarn on, and then stick the handle on, and then you can pop it on your wrist and knit as you go. It's got a 360-degree swivel, so that one will be part of the gift. So that's that, and I will also include a little grey cabinet clip that you can use to hook onto the if you want to hang it off a table or a coat rack or something whilst you're on public transport or something, like on the train or whatever. You can hook this through that with your yarn hanging off it, or in the car or something. Yeah, so anyway, so just a little tiny cabinet clip, and that's part of that. I might pop that in that bag just so they don't get lost. And also a set of my favourite bulb stitch markers in a rainbow of colours. So that is the special gift for your, thank you for your support of my channel. I really appreciate it, and I'm flabbergasted at how well done last week's video went. I'll just enjoy it because it'll probably be the only one. But yeah, so seeing as I've just shown you my yarn, I'll show you the other colours that I have available in my shop. So I have these ones. This is like a blue, like ice blue colour. I don't know if it's quite coming up, and it's got the odd fleck of like green in there, lime green, sort of sea green in there with the blues. Yeah, really pretty. So I've got a couple of those skeins in my shop, plus I've got this skein of green. I think this one's called Seaweed, and yeah, oh my god, it's so soft. Yeah, so that's in a beautiful greens, and that's available in my shop too, along with many other things. This was also a colour that I'm keeping for myself because it had a bit of a whoopsie. It only did it there and not everywhere else, so I'm just going to keep that one for myself. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet. Something for Wayne maybe, because he loves green, but I also love green too, so don't know. So yeah, and then acquisitions. Friends of ours who we look after their Labradoodle Mira, she comes to stay with us when they go to the Himalayas to run tours up the various mountains. Everest One, if you're into that sort of thing and interested, go and check out Everest One. I'll pop their link to their website down below and their Instagram. Yeah, so Alan and Susie does a lot of the photography, and Alan guides a lot of the treks up the mountains, as well as he has an amazing team of Sherpas who are very experienced and friendly, and yeah, they really know their stuff. So if you're into climbing mountains, they're the ones to see. So they brought back some gifts, which this one looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast because it got somehow undone. I don't know. So I'll have to refix that. But it's yak yarn, and it's hand spun and all done in the Himalayas in Kathmandu. And this is a beautiful pink colour, and it's very toothy, and it's lovely, and it'll be perfect for, I don't know, some colour work, maybe a colour work hat. I've got so much of this yarn, you've got no idea. I don't know what to do with it all yet, but I love all the colours. They also brought me back some black, like a charcoal black. It's beautiful, really lovely. This stunning petrol blue yarn. Wait, there's more. Plus this rainbow one. How awesome's that? That'd be great for a colour work with like a neutral, like probably like a black or a charcoal. Like imagine this is the colour work pattern on a black background. That would look really good. Or a grey. So those ones. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I swear these are probably over 100 grams maybe. Yeah, definitely. They're probably like 200 grams because they're huge. And then there's still more. This beautiful like magenta burgundy pink. There's still more. And this lovely lime green or pale leaf green. But wait, it's still more. Oh my god, I forgot how much I had. I need to find a pattern. If you know a pattern that I could use this yarn with, let me know. I think it's more like might be like a sport weight. Not quite DK, but I don't know. I'd have to see what the gauge is when I think. But look at this beautiful bright green. I love it. I love that colour green. So I've got all of those colours. Actually, I can put that in that basket. By the way, I get these baskets from Kmart. They're only like $10 or something. And they're amazing. They hold a lot. I could probably fit another of those balls in there. So that's acquisitions. And then I also got, and I don't have all of it here because I opened it, but I found this lady, don't tell me I haven't got her details, abitbusy.etsy.com, and she does watercolour kits. A bit busy at etsy.com. And I got the Bookshop watercolour outline and painting palette, and you get to paint this watercolour. You get the drawing, and then you can practice your watercolouring. It comes with a page with tips and information on how to get started. She puts it in this beautiful folder, and whoops, have I got, okay. Then you get, hold this down. Oh, she has a protective sheet to put between your artwork. It comes with palette colour suggestions that she's hand painted. I mean, what? It comes with this palette of just colour suggestions for what you might want to do for the for your painting. And then she's got a practice, almost like a bookmark. You could turn this into a bookmark because you could undo this, but it's like to do a practice run of your different painting and get used to painting with the watercolour and practice your colours. And then there's more. You get the paintbrushes. This was just one. I think you get two paintbrushes, 2 or 3 paintbrushes. And then it comes with the print of the bookshop. There's also a flower shop. This one I went for the bookshop. And then you just, it's like colouring in, but with paint. And she gave me multiple copies, so you get 2 copies with it. Plus she had some extras to practice on that maybe came out a bit more faded. Just some extras. See, they're a bit faded, but still good to use. So I've got 2 more extras to practice. So you can practice on these, practice on the spine one, and then when you're feeling confident, you can come in and do these, and you could give one to a friend. Put one on your wall near your bookshelf. How cute. So she's got like flower ones, and I think she might have others. Plus she had like journaling little notebooks. So I got a couple of those, which looks like this. And it's just got dotted paper inside. And wait, there's still more. Oh, it's in here. I got 2 of these. I've given one to my cousin, which it's on its way to the UK to go with her birthday gift. But she'd already given these as like suggestions of what you could do for the finished product, colour wise and everything. So I've got that by my bedside. How cute's that? You could put it in a little frame, put it on your bookshelf. I don't know. Very cute. Put it in your journal. Make it part of a card to give a friend as a gift. So yeah, so definitely check out that. I'll put the details down below for her Etsy shop. So that's all the extra acquisitions apart from books. So now we'll talk books. So I'm just about finished a reread. I've read this book multiple times. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So I can't recommend this series enough, and her other series. They're just really great, fantastic. They're just ones I want on my shelf, and I just feel cozy when I go back and read them, and it's like I'm visiting with friends. So yeah, so I'm just right at the very end, nearly finished, up to the best part. Yeah, so nearly finished that. And then I loaned some A Discovery of Witches book, one of the books or 2 of the books, to a friend. And anyway, I didn't want to rush them to give them back to me, so I thought they can just keep them. And I've just reacquisitioned the books. So I also bought the All Souls one. I have I think I have the last book, plus the Blackbird Oracle, which is the very last one in the series. Plus I bought this one today. This is the one I picked up, which is the first book in the series of Discovery of Witches. So I've got All Souls, which is the next one to this. I think I already have in my cupboard the third one. And then I already had in my cupboard Blackbird Oracle, as well as I bought this one recently as well from Baffies Oan Books, which is Times Convert, which is sort of like a sideline to that series. Like it's still part of that series, but it's different characters. So in the Discovery of Witches series, Matthew the vampire, his son, who he made a vampire, like it's not his biological son, obviously, it's his son who is the person tied to him because he made him a vampire. So Marcus, this story surrounds him and his mate Phoebe Taylor, who also turns from a human to a vampire, and her experience. And this is sort of Marcus's story and Phoebe's. So really good. So I started reading it on my Kindle app on my phone ages ago, but I couldn't finish it because my eye hurt too much reading on the Kindle. On the phone, just my dry eyes couldn't handle it. So I've gone back to reading actual books. Though I did finish one book that I had, which was just a bit of a light-hearted romance, time travel romance, which is called A Highlander of Her Own, by Melissa Hugh or something like that. I'll put the details down in the description box below, which that was really good. I enjoyed it. It was not much spice, but it was really enjoyable to read. And yeah, I finished that on the Kindle, but yeah, I don't really want to. I ended up with another migraine from reading on the Kindle, so gone back to books. So this is the next one I'm gonna start reading. And yeah, so I got those. And what else did I have to show you? Oh, this is another little friend I got from our friends from the Himalayas when they came back last time with the yarn, is my little yak. Isn't he cute? He's made out of yak yarn and felt. Yak felt. So cute. He sits on my bedside table. He's very cute. Wayne got a grey one, grey and white one. I think it was grey and white or grey and blue. Yeah, super cute. Do, 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 do. And he's got his little pack on his back, so definitely love him. And yeah, so that's all. I'm going to come back in a minute with a video to draw the winner of my gift giving from last episode from the Yarn Fest. And that will also be sent out hopefully this week if you give me your address. So don't put your address or anything in the comments. I won't ask for any banking details or anything. I should have said this last week. So don't, if you get any messages, they're dodgy, like just send me a direct message on Instagram or lillypillystitches@yahoo.com. I'll put that detail there. And let me know your address to post it to, and obviously you need to be over 18, and I will get that to you. Now if you want to go in the one for my 500 subscriber gift giving, then don't forget to pop a comment below telling me what you would make with the yarn that I dyed. And I'm going to do some more yarn dyeing tomorrow, so I might share some video footage from that if I get round to it at the end of this video. And tell me also where you're watching from. I'd really love to know, and just keep those comments coming through. I really enjoy receiving those. And if you have any questions that you're new to me and you want to know more about me, pop the questions down below, and if there are enough questions, I'll do a little bit of a Q&A in the next video. But thank you so much for your support. If you love this video and you want to come back for more, hit the subscribe button. There's no cost involved. It just lets you know when, and you hit the bell and it'll let you know when I post a new video. I will try to do more regular videos. I have been trying at least once a fortnight, so I might stick to that schedule even though it's been just a week. It just gives me time to have made some progress on my knitting, and then I have more content for you. So I'll see you in a fortnight's time. Till then, happy stitching, happy knitting and crocheting or whatever crafting you're doing, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, I've done a random number picker. I had 22, I think it was 22 entries, and the winner is Tracy Noble 6080. So Tracy, can you DM me and with your address details on Instagram, and I shall pop your goodies in the mail to you. Congratulations, and thank you to everyone who participated. Okay, catch you later.